Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a great honor for me to address this August gathering. We all at World Gold Council are super happy and proud to be partnering with the NDTV, such a phenomenal platform that we've put together. And as we get into divulging the future of our nation, and as the title says, a flux, something that's unknown, I'd welcome you all to this conversation where gold has been that anchor that's put everything in place. Gold has been that anchor that's performed timelessness over the years. And I consider you and I welcome you to consider gold as not just a sleepy asset class, but an asset class that's performed phenomenally well in these particular times of flux, and how this will shape up, as we march into the Viksit Bharat 2047, what India would do and an important pillar for our progress. I'll start by sharing with you what do we do at World Gold Council. We at World Gold Council understand gold. We at World Gold Council are experts in gold. We are at the forefront of the global gold industry. We work with the entire value chain of gold, right from mining to refining to retailing, bullion trade, financial markets, policymakers, futurists, all of that element with the whole one focus to bring in transparency and confidence in this asset class that's transforming the world. Through our continuous efforts on marketing, on consumer research, we build up core infrastructures that are ready for future development. And we shape the world of gold, as I said, built on confidence and trust. In time and millennia, as we go back, gold has performed as the most important and unmovable hedge. We have witnessed gold stories of gold in kingdoms, in treasuries, in temples, through families, and it's going on from that long. But in today's time of flux, in today's time what's happening around the world, the role of gold cannot be undefeated. The fact is that gold is really, what we call internally, is gold is behaving like the new gold. And I'd like to dwell a little more things around that. But historically, it's been phenomenal. As you go forward and we look at India, in India, gold has been part of the social fabric. All of us consume gold. We don't have to be in any particular economic strata or any geographical strata. We all consume gold. Gold is a part of our special moments of life. Gold is something that we pass from one generation to the other generation. And I can tell you, dear friends, that the Indian housewife can be easily awarded as the smartest investor in the world, because through the millennia, through the lifetime of Indian housewife, collecting small values and volumes of gold, she's not just brought adornment and wealth in the family, she's created wealth for our nation. And that's fundamentally true. Now, let's look at what's happening in gold today. As you might have heard, and as World Gold Council, we get a lot of conversations around what's happening in gold today and what's going on. And I can tell you that what's happening in gold today is unprecedented. We've never seen this before. And that really is an answer to it's a new changed world of geopolitics. It's a new changed world of de-dollarization, of economic crisis. In the last 1.5 years, we've seen 85 new peaks of gold price. 85, my friends. We've seen the gold price just in 2025 rise up by 56%. Still, from yesterday to today, the international markets has gone up by $174 one day. So there is something happening. And these are not sheer numbers. These are numbers that reflect the importance and criticality of gold in today's world. In today's world where geopolitics, as I said, is evolving. Nations are behaving in a different manner. And as we all are looking at our future, gold will be a fundamental of this growth. There are a lot of usages of gold. And if you look at historically, 30 years back, central banks were the net sellers of gold. And the only usage of gold was jewelry. Fast forwarded today we have a very diverse usage of gold, both sectorally or even geographically. About 74% of the annual usage of gold is consumed by developing markets, China, India, Middle East, and that's phenomenal, which is very different 30 years ago. From a sectoral perspective, we have a very, very wide usage. About 20% of annual consumption comes from central banks and nations who are making strength with gold. About 40% of gold consumption comes from investment demand. About 33% of consumption comes from jewelry. And about 7% of it comes from technology. I mean, all your phones that, ladies and gentlemen, that are using will have small bits of gold. All the renewable energy systems in the world are using gold to make the world a better place. Now, just one number I'd like to share. Just the investment demand in this year is slated to cross $6 trillion of gold trading. Now, what that means in INR terms is that we will have a trading of 17 lakh 80,000 crore worth of gold on a daily basis. I'll again repeat that, 17.8 lakh crores worth of gold trading on a daily basis, which makes gold as the most liquid asset on planet Earth. It is a hedge, it is a safe haven, it is something that really truly holds strength in a nation, and we believe as we go forward in this march towards Viksit Bharat, we need to look at all these aspects correctly and closely. Now, what's lying in the future? At the World Gold Council, we've been working on making gold as a contemporary, technological, very savvy asset. We've been working on digitizing gold in all facets. We're working with organizations, with digital players, with economies, with banks, hedge funds, and even looking at how gold can be on the blockchain. And there'll be really three things that you'll see in the very near future with gold. You'll see gold as a completely fungible asset, which really means that can move from A country to B, A organization to B, A person to B in a very transparent manner. We believe gold will be accessible. Like in any contemporary modern asset class, gold will be available 24/7 to transact, to share, to trade. And lastly, when we will be digitizing gold, there will be authenticity in gold. When we say this is what it is, it will mean what it is in terms of grammage, caratage, and so on and so forth, with complete ticks on ESG in the entire pipeline journey. So my dear friends, that's what's happening in gold globally. But let's narrow down in the focus of India, and as a respectable Prime Minister has laid down the destination of Viksit Bharat 2047, where we all are moving towards and marching towards making India a developed nation. There is a fundamental role of gold. And as World Gold Council, we are on this project called Swarnim Udan 2047, where we're trying to create an exact roadmap of what will happen in gold and what's the role of gold in the developed nation of India. And of that, we're working alongside with the policymakers, future thinkers, technologists, banks, and with the crux, we're coming out with a very clear destination of gold's role in 2047 and a clear roadmap as to what will happen in 2040, 2035, 2030, and what we as an industry and economy need to start doing today. And ladies and gentlemen, there are some very interesting, sort of pillars that are coming around it. And I'd like to reflect on a little few of them. First and foremost, we believe that India will do mining of gold. Over the next decade, if the right triggers are pressed, we believe that 1/3 of the consumption of gold in India will come from our own gold. Connected to that is the biggest mine that exists in the world, that's gold sitting in the households of India. How can that be, via technology, via transparency, via privatization, be brought into the main system of the economy? And that'll be the other initiative that we do. We believe that India will be the jeweler to the world, and not just a net importer, but also a net exporter with value addition. We believe that tourism in India will enhance, and there will be a section of gold tourism where we can enhance the artisans and the skills and the craftsmanship of India at the international level to make India as a gold center for tourism. And lastly, and very importantly, while we are such a big market, India is a price taker in gold. We are not a price maker. And we believe that over the next few years, there needs to be a transformation in the banking sector to work very closely with the gold sector so that we move from not just being a price taker, but really drive the global gold market by being a price maker in this industry. So with that, my friends, I think I just want to reiterate the fact that gold is not a sleeping commodity. As you look into the future, look at your own portfolios, look at India as a nation, and we think that as gold will be not just a critical asset, but a very strategic asset to have in our portfolios, in our nation, and we need to thrive towards it. And with that, before I end, tomorrow is Dhanteras, and it's a very important day that we all go out and buy gold, and I encourage all of you to buy gold. But more importantly, I want to reflect as to what's the meaningfulness of this festive time. In Dhanteras and Diwali, we pray to the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. We pray to God Dhanvantri, which is goddess of medicine and health. And we pray to God Kuber, which is really the treasure and safeguard of all this wealth. We pray for material prosperity and also spiritual growth. So from all of us at World Gold Council, I wish you all a very happy Dhanteras and a very happy Diwali. Thank you for your time.